La 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 la
Hey
la
folks,
la la
I'm
la
Camille Who Armstrong,
la
the
la
Performing Arts
la
Renaissance woman.
la la
For over
la
40
la
years, I've worked as a
la
performer,
la
educator,
la
consultant, and coach. But most importantly, I'm a parent. From classrooms to stages to bedtime routines, I've spent my life nurturing creativity, character, and connection in the next generation. This series is for you, whether you're expecting, learning as you go, or parenting for the first time, or even third time around. I'm here to share the insights, tools, and real talk I've gathered over 4 decades of hands on experience. Welcome to Camille Who, the Child Whisperer. I'm so glad you're here. Camille Who here. And today we are going to talk about drawing boundaries and enforcing boundaries. There are many, many parents that are afraid to train their children. There are many parents that are afraid to tell their children what to do. There are parents that maybe they've had a really strict upbringing, like ridiculously strict, and so have chosen to they just don't want to be what they experienced to their child. They choose to be a lot more lenient. The idea or the concept of creating boundaries and enforcing boundaries, maybe it triggers something in their memory, maybe it triggers something in their experience, and they tend to shy away from the concept of training their child. The purpose of creating and enforcing boundaries in the home, like charity starts in the home, so does everything else. Your family institution is the very first institution that we are in ever, right? Before we go to school, before we go to church, we are in a family institution. This is what starts us off in life. So when learning to obey laws, we are learning to obey laws outside of the house when we go to any other kind of institution. Now I know that there are rules that are just they're human made rules, and they're just there to limit people. And I'm not talking about that. I am talking about laws. Laws teach us what to work within, what to work, how things are related and how we can work with the things that we are related to. You have the law of gravity. To obey that law would mean our safety. To disobey that law would mean broken bones or death. The laws that pertain to plants, when they are in soil, when they get water with it, when they get sunshine, obeying those laws can guarantee the success of the plant. Disobeying those laws, the plant dies. So when we are creating laws for our children, or when we are establishing laws in our home for our children to follow, first of all, we have to follow those laws as well as parents. We have to set the example and really set that standard for our child to follow. When they obey those laws, it guarantees their success. It it protects them from danger, from death, and it teaches them responsibility. It teaches them to respect authority, and we as parents are the very first authority over them. So when they are learning laws and when they are learning boundaries, when we set the boundaries and we enforce boundaries, they're learning to respect authority, and thus learning to they translate that into their real world life experience in other arenas and in other institutions. They then respect authority automatically. Laws can guarantee our failure. We can disobey the laws and then we fail. I would like you to examine yourself, examine your core belief system. What are your beliefs about creating boundaries? Right? I've mentioned before that some parents, because they've had over strict backgrounds or upbringings, they tend to be less boundary setting in their household. And then they create a problem. Their child doesn't respect authority. Their child becomes defiant. They have a harder time in life. Everything that they want to do with their child or teach their child becomes this hard, just a difficult situation. Picking clothes for school becomes a fight, when it doesn't need to be all of that. We don't need to make life harder for ourselves. Examine your beliefs about creating boundaries. What are the things that you want for your child? What are the things that you want for your child and your household and your family dynamic? What are the things you want? And then I want you to think about, what are the things you don't want? Most times you will find that the things that you don't want are usually fear-based, guilt-based, anxiety-based. I've gone through this in my childhood, so I don't want my child to go through this experience. What is your background? How does that affect the choices that you're making now or the choices you're choosing to make? Looking at your wants, looking at your don't wants. It is a lot easier to achieve the wants than it is to achieve your don't wants. A lot of don't wants are fear-based, are guilt-based, are trauma-based. So examine those things and see whether they are healthy or not. Then there are some don't wants that I don't want my child. There are some don't wants that actually keep your child safe. And this is why you examine it. You don't just fumble your way through parenting. No, you take a moment before your child comes. And it may seem like it's premature, but you address it now and you make those decisions now, so that when you come up to those moments, you're coming from a place of understanding, of identification. You've identified this thing, as opposed to you're coming from this place of default where you're emotionally making choices that end up being to the detriment of both your child and you and society, their classrooms. I'm a teacher. I have been the teacher of defiant children who don't have boundaries at home, and it makes the classroom environment difficult. It changes the classroom dynamic for the worse. And it's all because mom, dad decided or didn't decide at all and are now reacting emotionally, and they didn't set boundaries for their child. And so they just allowed their child to do whatever they wanted to do. So now in every environment, in every institution, in every arena, their child thinks that that's what's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, they're going to lie, cheat, and steal and scream and have tantrums and do whatever they can to get what they want, because that's all they're used to. And it's almost like they can't function otherwise. You want to set your standards and really, really focus on the things you want for your child. There are some very healthy don't wants for your child. So I would say set some standards, really examine those things, even the wants, examine the wants. I didn't have this, so I want my child to have that. Ask yourself why. Figure out the why. Why do I want these things for my child? Why don't I want these things? This becomes the basis of the questions you have to ask, the books you have to read, the people you have to interview, the videos you have to watch in order to learn something new, learn some new skills, and be able to really implement and enforce boundaries. When you're examining, make sure you are not coming from a place of fear. Make sure these things are healthy. Make sure they're healthy wants. Make sure they're healthy not wants or don't wants. And the unhealthy don't wants or the unhealthy wants, examine them, put them in a place, realize that you are a totally different person. Your experience is totally different from your child's experience. So you're afraid of is not going to happen with your child, because your child has different parents. Your child is in a different time era. Your child is facing different challenges in society than you were, than your parents were. So know that you can take those unhealthy wants and don't wants and just set them aside. Know that you can reevaluate your whole situation, your society, the time that you're raising your child in, and realize that, okay, that's not necessarily relevant for this time, for this day and age, for my child in this generation. And this way, you're not passing down generational habits and generational curses, because they become curses. Because your child ends up, it just keeps passing, keeps perpetuating itself throughout generations. And before you know it, it's like fourth, fifth generation in, and it's like, I don't know, it's what we've always done. I'm telling you right now, be the one to change it. Parenting of that early childhood, that first 3 years, it really doesn't have to be as difficult as most people make it. You don't have to fumble your way through. You don't have to figure it out as you go along. You don't have to hope that you get lucky with a good kid. You train and make sure your child is good, or you don't. Okay? So here's some simple examples. Teaching them the difference between hot and cold, right? Because we all know that if you break the rule of don't touch the hot thing, the consequence is already in the law. Something's hot, you're going to get burned. If you decide to disobey that law, you're the one that's going to get hurt. So teaching your child through just them seeing you, they will mirror what you do. Every time your child sees you at a sink or near a fire, you go, hot, 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 hot. Let them see your reaction. Let them see that this is not the happy hot, right? This is, ooh, 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 hot, 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 hot. This is, you're teaching your child what the word hot means. And this can be done at, gosh, that's probably one of the first sounds that a child can learn in their first 6 months to 9 months of their life, is hot, 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 hot. They know that when you say hot, 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 if they're going near something and you go, that's hot, they know to be like, whoa. And that's not going, this is hot and this is cold. No, this is you. They remember the visual they got. They remember the audio they got. They remember what it looked like. They have that correlation of what it looked like when when dad burned himself, okay? Or when they went next to something hot. Okay, cool. I don't want that to happen to me. Ooh, ow, 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 right? Good. That's one example. Another thing is that electric socket, good Lord, I don't know why the electric socket is so tempting to us little humans. Everybody in the world, okay? Little humans. I don't know, because it's a hole. Like, you have to put your finger in the hole. Like, I don't know what it is about that. And hopefully you have covers for your electrical sockets, your outlets. But when your 9-month-old is crawling, some 9-month-olds are walking. When they're walking, 9-month-old, 10-month-old, 11, and they're 11 months, and they're starting to walk, and they're crawling and pulling themselves up to stand, and they start going to that electric socket. You do, whoa, oh, no, 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 no. You can pull their hand, and I'm not saying like hit or anything, like yank them, but just pull their hands. Oh, whoa, no, no, you don't want to mess with that. That's electric. Saying that reason, that simple saying of it's electric, none of your children are gonna know how to even repeat that word, okay? But there's something magical about just going, whoo, no, no, you don't want to mess with that. That's electric. That's electric. Oh, no, 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 it's electric. They're like, I don't even know what that is, but that don't sound good, right? It's basically what they're getting. I've done this with many children, and at this point, when they even get close to making the sound of the word, they're like, oh, electric, electric, you know. But the point is they know to stay away from electric. Whatever electric is, it does not seem like it's a good thing to mess with. That's creating a boundary, and that's enforcing that boundary. And you have to be around monitoring your child to see what they're doing, because we do things when no one's looking, and we do it really quickly. And especially when a child is really silent, okay, that's a little too silent. You focusing on something that you ain't got no business doing. And a lot of times, most times your child is doing something they have no business doing. Sometimes the child is actually just quietly playing by themselves. That's so lovely to see. But most times when your child is quiet, they doing something they ain't got no business doing. So you got hot, hot, hot. You got, oh, don't mess with that. That's electric. Oh, you don't want to mess with that? That's electric, man. Oh, mm-mm. Sometimes you can add on something like, ooh, that's a big ouchie. That's a big boo-boo, right? You could say things like that. Moving your child from a place, right? You see them going towards danger. I have to keep you safe. I have to keep you safe. It's my job to keep you safe. Like, I have to keep you safe though. My job is to keep you safe, right? They may not like it because they don't get allowed to do the thing that they want to do, but they don't understand that that thing is going to put them in danger, that they are in danger, that they are walking towards danger, towards hurt, towards pain, towards death. Okay, depending on what it is, if it's fire, if it's an electric outlet, right? These are the things that I have to keep you safe. Even if they cry, they can cry, and you can say, I have to keep you safe. I have to keep you safe. And also the bonus, instead of saying no, which we tend to have an instinct towards doing that, like a knee jerk, we go, no, 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 no. I know that. But if you start training yourself now to go, then your child is not going to say, they're not going to use no as a weapon for you. You're welcome. I gotta keep you safe. You don't want to mess with that. That's electric. Ooh, man. Right? Put the drama on it. Okay? Because they're like, wow, if dad is afraid of it, if mom's afraid of it like that, then maybe I don't want to mess with that thing. Okay? And like safe, they don't know what safe is, but no, I have to keep you safe. I have to keep you safe. And eventually, when they go on things, they climb on things, they you're not, that's not safe. That's not safe for you. Then they know to climb down. They start messing with something, or they go towards the thing. You go, that's not safe. They know that already. You've already programmed them to know that you have to keep them safe. So if you, the keeper of safety, is telling them that something is not safe, they will think twice before they go towards that thing. There are many different ways. There are many different kinds of things that you're going to run into, that it's important to create the boundary and enforce it. If you ever need ideas on how to create boundaries, contact me. I am here to help. You can go to CAMILLEWHO.com. The link is in the description. You can go to my website. There's actually a section called Better Parent, Better Future. And in there you have educational resources. You can join the community of Better Parent, Better Future with every stage. Age 9 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, even 5-year-olds. I can help you create and enforce, give you tips on enforcing these boundaries in a safe way, in a way that is not difficult for you, in a way that your child gets it, because it's basic enough. It's not overcomplicating words, it's not over explaining, it's just keeping it basic, simple, and consistent. So there you have it. I'm Camille Who, and I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Camille Who, the Child's Whisperer. A heartfelt thank you to the generous supporters of the Books and Beyond campaign. This series wouldn't be possible without you. If you're a new or expecting parent, I created Better Parent, Better Future just for you. I empower first-time parents to embrace a positive mindset and navigate those early parenting years with confidence and joy. Click the link in the description to learn more or to find out how we can work together. Until next time, keep showing up, keep growing, and keep leading with love.